Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your weekly reading with me, Cindy. Hello. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So, Gem, I think this is the first time. Yeah, it is the first, well, really, first time for me doing the reading for any of you guys this week for 2020, because the other 2 weeks I was off, they were just pre-recorded, so it's nice to see you. Thank you for coming by. Now, please note my beautiful background that I have now. So I have Chakra Woman and the Universal Energies got my back here. My little 4-year-old niece gave me this for Christmas, so it's part of my life now. If you don't like it, it's too bad, it's staying. Okay? Just say, yeah, okay. So I'm feeling very sassy. I had 2 weeks off and I'm like full of it. I'm full of myself. So it's all of my Gemini coming out, I think. The Fairies Oracle. So I used to use this quite a bit back in the summer or late spring, and then I pulled away from it for a little while. I was compelled. I needed to use other cards, other messages. And then just before Christmas, the deck kept calling to me like, pick us up, pick us up, pick us up. And it had been a while since I used it. So I actually spent those 2 weeks that I was off. Well, not just that. I wasn't just doing this. Was going back into this deck and really connecting with it. And yeah, so I brought it back. So we're going to see what messages there are for you, Gemini, this week with the Fairies Oracle. And then I'm going to go into the Return of Spirit deck to see what comes out. And possibly the Dream Tarot. Let's see, huh? All right, Gemini. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So see, I've been asking for one card, and I've been getting anywhere from, I think, 2 to 6. Which is tricky because the messages with each one of these cards is actually pretty, they're pretty big messages for each individual card. Oh, and there we go. All right. Oh. Yeah. Got 3. You got 3 here. Oh, wow. That's an interesting card. I haven't pulled this one out in a while. The glam, okay, I'm going to show you all 3. Here, I'll show you all 3. This one's interesting. This is the third or fourth time. This was out for Aquarius. This was out for Aries. I can't remember who was out. It might have been out for Pisces. It's been out a lot. That one's been out a lot. So, okay, I'm going to tell you each one, and then I'm going to tell you what I think's going on here. So, number 62, the first one that is kind of on this top. So, like, these 3 just came out face up, ready to go. So these are your cards. The Glancomer here. This card is really about, you can see, he's got, it's like his third eye is lit up. So this is the fairy. This is the fairy energy. So fairy energy is very old. It's been around since before people, been watching us evolve and grow. Fairies know all about us. And they're there to cause mischief. But for the most part, the mischief takes us down to better things. So this one here is a lot about self-projection. So this one, it also speaks very much about trying to see things clearly, being driven by lust, being driven by self-projection, like something that you may be projecting onto someone else that might not even be real or factual or reality. Interesting. So the image that I get here at the top, please focus, focus, focus. Let's focus. Here we go. The image at the top, you can almost see like this face that's starting to creep out on these, almost like these wings. Very flighty energy, kind of flies in and flies out to me. Maybe this is happening to you at different times. 1 minute you're like okay with this, and the next minute this whole thing is in your head. Whatever this is, it might be a person, because it does speak about clarity, lust, but it could be like the deep desire for something. It might not be a person, something you really want, that shiny bright car over there. That's the first one. And then the loom here, the loam. This is really about the art and the gift of giving and receiving. Giving and receiving to the point that it could hurt. Being able to give enough of oneself in circumstances and situations that really do warrant it, for someone who really does need it. And being able to do that. Being able to have that aspect of yourself that is completely selfless. at times. Completely selfless. And because the universe delivers, it really does. So whatever you've been projecting, it's going to come back to you. So is what you're projecting, is it good? Is it based solely on illusion and lust and desire? Or is there something deeper there? Then the last one is the Bright Mother. So the Bright Mother to me is like the Empress in the Tarot. The Bright Mother is ready to give birth to something new here. But she does ask you to look deep within yourself to see what it is that you do truly want. To give of yourself, to receive. It's interesting that this is coming up beside the loom. They're both really about giving and receiving. And this one, though, too, is just receiving something new and beautiful and wonderful. I want to look in the book, because with the Bright Mother, there's something else that I know is important in this, and I'm forgetting it. And I want to... Okay, here. I'm just going to read the start for the reading, what it says if this comes up. When the Bright Mother is present in a reading, she speaks of a time of fertility, creativity, and nurturing of ourselves or of others. She might indicate marriage or the birth of a child or a deepening of any kind of a relationship. She also speaks of giving one's all to life, not holding back, which is really interesting because that's a lot about what that card is beside it. She is like a cornucopia, pouring forth abundance. This may be a time to put the needs of others first, taking care of yourself later. Patience may be needed for the process being discussed. Consider what you have. Acknowledge the people and things in your life, good, bad, and indifferent. This consideration is not to judge, approve, or reject, but merely to recognize what is present in your life. These are your present fulfillments, the things you have created for yourself, drawing upon the power of unity and the singers, or not, as the case may be. Once you have looked clearly at what is present in your life, you may want to ask yourself what you want to change. Interesting, huh? So, the Bright Mother really, both these, okay, what I'm getting here, I'm getting that there's something that you really want, something you really desire, particularly with this Glenn Comer card coming out, something that you really want, you really desire. But I feel like you're not, by having the loam and the Bright Mother coming out beside it, it's really telling me that A, you don't know if you really want this. I really feel like you don't know if you really want this because you're projecting something. You're projecting something, whereas what you really need to do at this time is to open up. Just open up. Just like don't go into things with expectations. Just give of yourself and see what is returned. Is really what I'm getting. Is to give of yourself and see what is returned. And it's to accept what is around you. So all the situations and relationships that are around you, how are they around you? How did you create them? Are they created from something factual, from something beneficial, from something that serves your deeper self? Are you serving your deeper self? The best way to serve your deeper self is to give of yourself to others. The Bright Mother is really asking you to give of yourself, to put yourself out there right now. And I feel like by doing that, you start... This guy starts walking back into the shadows, into the darkness. This projection. And then you really do see what it is you want. You really do see, what you want may actually, yes, be for you. But right now you're functioning on a level that A, could just be very fantasy based. B, it could be, my nose is getting itchy. It happened with Taurus, I think. Very factual, but very lust driven. So it's sort of the darker side of you. I feel like the darker side of you is driving this. The darker side of you is driving this, what you really want, where you need to give of yourself. to give of yourself and really start to see where that goes. When you give a little bit of yourself into a situation without expectation, without projecting any possible outcome or result or benefit to you, just give it. Just put it out there and see what happens. I want to go to this deck because I feel like the real strong message for you here, Gemini, is it's almost like charity work. Charity work, and it doesn't have to be like, okay, I have to specifically go to a nursing home and do that, or I need to go to a hospital and, you know, do some volunteer hours there. This feels very more personal to me. Like the people, you know, and she was speaking of that, the relationships that you have in your life now, the bright mother, what, like that kind of charity work. Helping out for the sake of it, not because you're projecting this sort of outcome for yourself, or this is how it's going to look, or this is how the circumstance will play out. Because we really never know. There's really no point in always trying to project how a circumstance will play out. We don't know. There's fairies all over the place. There's energy changing all over the world. We can't even begin to imagine all the different possibilities of how something could play out. So then that comes down to what is the energy that you're projecting, because that's what will be returned to you. So if you're projecting an energy that's based on projecting something that you think it is, you just keep seeing it as that, when you're not really seeing it for what it is, right? You're not really seeing it for what it is. So you need to kind of remove that. Stop projecting. Stop trying to overanalyze it or figure it out, and just experience it. And just give of yourself. Just give of yourself. Oh, wow. Interesting. Right. You got one card. And you got right. So this is really about communication to me. So communicating, perhaps that, you know, Gemini should be a great communicator. So why aren't you communicating? You should be communicating is the message that's coming out for you. You know, you could write down your thoughts and your feelings. You don't necessarily have to send it off to anyone. You know, you can write something, you can delete it. You've let it out. But I feel like you are being asked to give of yourself here, Gemini. You're being asked to give of yourself towards others. And when this card comes up for me, it really is about the strength and how you can communicate. You are moving into an energy that, according to this reading, your communication will be very strong. You will be understood. Understanding others too will be much easier as soon as you stop projecting. As soon as whatever this is that you just lust after so much, you can look at it for what it really is. You know, that's interesting. So I just had this image come into my head. Two kind of popped up at the same time there. So I had an image of this beautiful, like shiny silver car sitting up on like one of those stands in the dealership. Bam, man, that car is gorgeous. And then the other was this like this really attractive person standing on a pedestal. And the two things that I saw in that were like this projection, like I need that car. That car's got everything. It's got all the bells and whistles. That is one sexy hot car, man. I need that car, right? You get into that car. And well, you know, you test drove it, you looked at it in the showroom, but you had this image of yourself in this car, right? You had an image of yourself in this car. Kind of like if it's a person, you have this image of what this person is like and you've put them on a pedestal. Both this car and this person I see on a pedestal. So maybe some of you want to buy a car, some of you want this person. Maybe it's both. But what I'm getting here, and this is interesting, is you never buy the car. You never buy the car, and you never approach the person, because you've projected things that aren't real to both of them. You know, this car is so amazing. It's so freaking hot. If I get that, my neighbors are going to bug me about it. So like you start like, there's all these, oh, how much did you pay for that? Like, wow. Oh, I bet your insurance rates are real. Like, it's almost like you're, oh, it's not, that won't work out. I can't do that. I can't get that car. My brother-in-law is going to think I got a raise, and he's going. You're just projecting all this stuff onto this car that you like. Instead, you know what? Phone up the insurance company and see. Who cares though? Who cares what other people think? I just feel like though you've projected something towards something that has made you believe that it's holding you back from receiving it. And the best way to receive it is to give of yourself. Whatever that is, just give of yourself. And the communication here, ask the questions about the car. Ask the person questions about themselves. Just ask the questions. Communicate. Give of yourself. Offer information about yourself. I don't know. Like, there's something holding you back here from what you want. And to me, it feels very much like, from what the cards are saying, that you're holding yourself back. But you're holding yourself back on a false vision. It's not real. Let's see what comes out in the Tarot of Dreams, shall we? Try to get 5 cards to get a little more specific clarity. Let's see what comes out here. 5 cards for Gemini in this spread. 1. 6 of Swords, going in a better place than where you are now. That's good. Woo, those came out. Whoa, what do we have here? Wow. 9 of Cups. Temperance. I'm going to show you the cards, don't worry. 2 more cards for Gemini. 2 more cards for Gemini. That was weird. All of a sudden I felt like I was doing Taurus reading, and it's not even the same cards. So I don't know if there's a cross watcher for Taurus. Okay, we got the 3 of Wands. Oh, and the last one came out quite... Whoa. The Tree of Life. Bang. Okay. Esoteric time. Oh boy. All right. Well, okay. So I'll show you each card. You got the 6 of Swords. This is showing up as Aquarius energy. You're an air sign too, so Swords, Gemini, why not? But they are giving us the Aquarius symbol up here. Going into a better place, finally going down the river for what is meant for you. Finally going down, finally allowing the river just to take you. Instead of working against the river. I feel like you're working against the river. Project, oh, if I go down the river that way, it's going to be choppy water. I better go this way. It's just let the river take you. Let the river take you. The 9 of Cups, because as soon as you let the river take you down to where it is you want to go and you stop projecting, then you find your wish fulfillment. Then the universe says to you, your wish is my command. What do you want in those cups, man? What do you want in those cups? Happiness, celebration. Almost like cornucopia with that card for me. And temperance. There's the balance. Temperance, beautiful balance within yourself. Sagittarius energy. Balance within yourself. Balance within your desires and your feelings. Look at that. Your desires and your deeper feelings here. Very guided on a very almost angelic level. Like the universe is guiding this. You're allowing the universe to guide it for you. And as soon as you stop projecting or having expectations about a situation, an object, or a person. And then the 3 of Wands. You know, yeah, the ship's coming in. And there's Aries energy on this card. I feel like that there is something you really desire here, because now you have 2 fire signs in here. You do have cups, you do have swords. Then the Tree of Life is interesting. Sorry, I got an additional message looking at all 4 cards here. So once you hit the temperance energy, your ship comes in, basically. Your ship's not coming in because you haven't balanced your desires and your deeper feelings. I feel like you're working more on just your desires right now. So there you go. Do you have feelings above the belt? You need to open those up. You need, and that's where you need to come from, right? When we're giving of ourselves to others, we need to come from that level, from that space, from that spot. The tree of life, this is huge. Whatever you're working towards here, it's very big. And maybe this is why you're kind of in your head on it. You're self-projecting. This is a very, this is the end, like what you're heading towards here. Like that's kind of the story here. You're getting into this, allowing the universe. This is the first card. Just saying to yourself, okay, I'm going to go down the river. I'm going to let the river guide me. I'm going to open myself up to the possibilities, stop projecting and having expectations of what should happen or what shouldn't happen. And I'm just going to go. And the tree of life, this is how we're all connected. This is like the tree of life it's very esoteric and it's very expansive. Like you could spend hours just talking about this card. It's, you know, it's alchemy, it's spirituality, it's physics, it's science, it's theory, it's everything. It's about existence. So this is telling me that you are on some sort of journey or path right now that's waking you up on a very deep level. And it's waking you up because there's things in this life that you need to come towards that you haven't been doing, but they're really meant for you. It's the yin and the yang. So perhaps you're the yang and you're going for the yin, or you're the yin, you're going to your yang. So it's soulmate energy. I want to say it's definitely some sort of soulmate energy. Someone that you have probably had past lives with. If it's that car that you want, maybe that car's been in your life before. It's been reincarnated into another car and you're like just very flustered over that car. But wow, the tree of life, it's a very poignant card. So to cap it off, the advice for you is to tone down the lust and the desire a bit and open up your deeper self to the situation, Gemini, for what it is that you're trying to get, what it is that you're trying to move towards. Because that's the solution. And the communication. Because once you start communicating from a deeper level, without expectation, without projection, mission accomplished. There you go. Take off on flight. Okay, Gemini, I hope you enjoyed that reading. It was quite interesting. I really enjoy the messages that the fairies bring to us. So, until next time, be gentle with yourselves, Gem. Bye.